Welcome back, guys. Leg day is going down today. This is the hack squat session, which you haven't seen just yet. Very, very simple session on paper. 10 working sets for today's workout. So, breaking down today's leg day, we are actually going to start with a hip thrust. Main reason why I am starting with a hip thrust, because in past, whenever I did a hip thrust at the very end of the session, the effort would not quite be there. I would always treat it as an afterthought. And this is something I want you to all take away from today's video. When you are trying to prioritize bringing up a body part, or when you are trying to learn and prioritize any lift, you should always program it at the start of your session. When you program that lift at the start of your session, not only you will be fresher going into it, which means arguably you are going to put more effort in, but if you're trying to learn a skill within that movement, when you are not fatigued, you will have a much easier time actually executing that lift better, therefore getting a little bit more from it. For me, I do want to work on my glute development, and now I am at a point where I can afford to actually add some direct glute work in without it actually impacting my recovery as a whole or impacting the session structure. Now, the reason why I also have the hip thrust in first is because I have found doing a hip thrust first actually leads to me executing my hack squat better, which is a funny one, but I do feel like I go into my hack and the reps feel smoother. So, hip thrust to begin with, single leg hamstring curl, 3 working sets, 2 working sets of leg extension, 2 working sets of hack squat, 2 sets of calf, and 1 set of seated hamstring curl. So we've got 1 set for direct glute work to begin with, 3 sets of hamstrings, 4 sets of quad total, 1 set of hamstring again, and then 2 sets of calf to finish. And that is all she wrote for the session. On paper, it doesn't look like much, but it's still a monster of a session. It will still probably take us around 2 hours because we do take our time. But this session, I feel like, ticks all the boxes for what I need specifically with my development and giving me quality stimulus to fatigue ratio with the way the session is actually structured. Rep range, 8 to 12 repetitions. At the moment in prep, I do not like to go higher. I do not feel like there's much merit to doing much higher rep work with you being in a calorie deficit, because your rep ranges should very often be dictated by the amount of fuel that you are taking in, which is your food. If your food is relatively low, your glycogen stores are not full, you're not in a surplus, it doesn't really make sense to do higher rep work, which is much more metabolically demanding, and it does require your glycogen stores to be pretty full for it to be effective. So again, guys, rep range can also be dictated by the phase that you are in. Off season, yes, you can afford to do more high rep work because you have the fuel coming in. Prep or diet phases, scale back on your repetitions a little bit and keep them a little bit more sensible. Any questions regarding to the session, guys, please comment below. And just a reminder, guys, if you are looking for coaching, training plans, consultations, or our mentorship, please visit Team MK Coaching and apply through the website, see how we can help you and see what we can do for you guys. Anything trained by JP, as always, code Kuba10. Anything hard body, code Kuba. You know the drill, guys. Right, session's about to begin. We are going to the usual planks, the usual setup, and then I will begin with hip thrusts. So let's get it. Last warm-up set about to go down. This warm-up is going to dictate what I'm going to work with. 8 to 12 reps is the goal. Quality stays at the forefront of our mind. Do not ever sacrifice quality for sake of quantity on the bar. It means absolutely nothing if you are not accurate. My guys, it's bodybuilding. Effort, intensity, accuracy. They all work hand in hand. Get the fuck after it. Okay. Just one working set here, which means I only get one chance to get it right. So with that in mind, I've got to make sure we're doing a fucking miss. As Jordan would say, do not fucking miss. What's that? So it was a nice reminder on how much it actually hurts to do a proper hip thrust. Glutes are on fucking fire. Right. That was actually a fair few more reps than expected. So this now gives me a green light to actually go up in weight. So next session, I like to put 5-10 kilo on the side and try to hit around 10. So we'll see. Alright guys, next. Single leg hamstring curl. Key points to get the most out of your hip thrust. First, set your foot stance. Use your heel as a reference point. Ideally, whenever you're doing a hip thrust, you want to have your heel directly underneath your knee. To keep the range of motion more focused on the glute, try and keep your shin vertical the entire time. Keep your core braced, rib cage packed, spine neutral, and then I want you to lead with the hips. Drop your hips down, and then extend hard through the hips, driving your pelvis through the ceiling. One huge mistake I see clients often make is, instead of hinging through the hip, clients often extend through the spine. And that is when the glutes don't actually do much work. Spine stays neutral, core braced, drop the hips down, and then hard extension through the hip, keeping your shins vertical and keeping your knee stacked above your heel. Super simple guide to ultimate hip thrust for huge glutes. Write it down. Beautiful. Next exercise, guys. 3 working sets of single leg hamstring curls. And I actually do 2 working sets here, and then I do 2 sets on a line hamstring curl. I actually do 2 sets here and 1 set of single leg line hamstring curl. The reason for that is, guys, this machine is very, very heavy in the short end range. So it only makes sense for me to do 2 working sets here and then 1 set on the hamstring curl that offers a resistance profile adjustment, which makes it much heavier in the stretch. This way, I can completely exhaust my hamstring. Now, I have the options to be able to do that. You might not at your gym, so you'll just have to make do. If you don't have the option to do that, all I would do in that instance is just lower the load, and the 3rd set on this, I would do in higher rep range. 40 grams of performance fuel, 5 grams of creatine and 5 grams of glutamine. At the moment, I'm actually taking in 30 grams of creatine per day, 10 grams first thing in the morning, 5 grams of a pre-workout meal, and then I have another 15 grams around my intra-workout window. So 5 in my pumpage, 5 intra, 5 post on my MPS.
You listen to Drunken Live. This week it's on the live time work with Monday.
Unilateral work benefits are you are able to focus so much more on the limb that you are trying to target at that given time. So I always feel like any hamstring curl variation, because I'm only using one leg, I can execute better. I can, to a degree, train that hamstring much better for its entire range of motion. The biggest downside to unilateral work is it takes twice as long and it's twice as much work, quite literally. 3 working sets is actually 6 working sets. But I still think that the benefits that you get from unilateral work far outweigh the negatives of it simply being more work. Sometimes training harder and doing stuff that is more challenging certainly has massive benefits. So just be mindful of that, guys. Doing the hard stuff is sometimes the way to go. Try to lean into the hard stuff as opposed to avoiding it. And I promise you, you will actually make so much more progress. Another thing to note, guys, on your lateral work, treat every single set separately. If you do your right leg or your right arm and you immediately go into your left side, guess what? You likely won't be able to have the same success because you are already fatigued from the previous set. So take enough rest and go when you are ready. Go when you are fully confident. You are able to attack your set with all-out intensity, and you are both physically and mentally ready to attack that set. Don't just do the set for the sake of it. Make sure that the intent is there, accuracy is there, and effort always stays high. It's always the priority, guys. Write it down. Beautiful. This is what we fucking live for. This is what we fucking live for. Here we fucking go. Here we fucking go. This is what we fucking live for. Here we fucking go. Here we fucking go. This is what we fucking live for. This is what we fucking live for. Okay. Here we go. Fucking hell.
A lot different, isn't it? It's a lot different with the pads.
Fuck me. Wow. 9. Oh wow. Right. 2 sets of leg extension. And that is our quad isolation work completed before I absolutely leave my soul on the Cybex hack today. I have been thinking about this pretty much the entire week. I know in my mind what I want to hit, and I know what I need to hit on there. So mental preparation is a huge part of the process when it comes to training performance, especially in prep. People undervalue the mindset going into the sessions, the mindset into going into simple day-to-day tasks. You can force yourself to believe, therefore you can achieve. Or you can force yourself to believe that you won't do the work and execute with poor standard. That's not why we do this. We fucking love this shit. Right guys, massive shout out to Hustler Pad for extra range of motion on the leg extension. I promise you guys, this is a massive game changer. It makes already a fantastic exercise and a fantastic piece of machine so much better. So massive shout out. Huge fan. The extra range of motion added on that is just amazing. It really makes the leg extension just so much better, so much harder. And that bit of extra range of motion, in this instance, really is worth it. That's what she says anyway. Write it down.
This
All fucking day, baby. All fucking day, baby.
Three good reps. Yeah, man. Go on. Easy. That's 6. There's 7. Come on. First call out. Come on. Come on. Easy.
Rock.
Right one.
Oh yeah. This is gonna move no matter what. This is gonna fucking move no matter what. This is gonna move no matter fucking what. Here we fucking go. Okay. Okay. Come on. Easy fucking work. That's what you fucking do.
You want to go there here, come on. Three. But all day. May. Loads of fucking power here. Come on. Come on, get after it. Easy. Take one. Focus. Everything into it. Oh yeah. All day.
Rock. Oh.
Easy.
That is exercise number 4 completed. Cybex hack squat. This is the OG, original gangster. If you don't know about Cybex hack squat, you should definitely get to know, because it's by far one of the hardest hack squats you can ever use. Especially with a low foot stance, getting plenty of knee flexion with no reverse band. It's absolutely savage, but in my opinion, executed correctly, nothing really comes close to smoking your quads the way the Cybex hack squat will. And as always, you can make it as easy or as hard as you want to. Some tips to get the most out of the hack squat is simply having enough control over the load and making sure you are not bouncing your way out of the hole. It's very easy to use momentum and bounce out of that stretch, which essentially takes the tension away from the muscle in the portion of the rep that is the most stimulating, which is the stretch. I would argue that is the portion of the rep where you want the most control. You don't really need to specifically pause there, spend excessive time in a stretch, but having a good degree of control in that stretch position will serve you tremendously if your goal is not only growing muscle tissue, but also protecting your joints. Write that down. Ready? Yep. Oh my fucking God. Ha! Oh. Single leg hamstring curl remains undefeated. For me personally, because I always struggle getting my alignment correct on a seated hamstring curl, single leg is by far the most effective way to go. And look guys, if you can get a hamstring curl and you can get your setup correct so your execution's on point, you don't need to do unilateral work. However, for me, I really struggle maintaining proper posture and position. So unilateral work offers me the ability to get my setup better, therefore my execution is so much better. Remember guys, exercise setup is the key to correct execution, and the correct execution is the key to getting the max stimulus and recruiting as much muscle fibers in your target area muscle that you're trying to train as possible. Write it down. Right now then.
Let's fucking go.
Yep. Hi guys, exercise number 5 was a single leg seated hamstring curl. And now exercise number 6 is the calf press. Now you'll notice that my preference for calf work is always done on a leg press. I always find I can get more out of it. Standing calf raise for me is no go. Seated also feels pretty terrible. So if you have a leg press, you also have an amazing calf machine. Therefore, you'll notice that in this gym, you have an array of leg presses that you can also use as calf machines. And we only have a few calf machines because we have these options. We do, however, have a donkey calf raise, a seated calf raise, and a standing calf raise, just in case you do want calf work. But then we also have a selectorized leg press from Prime and knotless, which can also serve as a calf press, which I do use on the other session. Now going back onto the seated hamstring curl, for me personally, it just feels totally different. The quality stimulus that I can get from doing hamstring curls unilaterally is just so much greater, especially since my legs are not like sticks anymore. It's much easier to set up and execute this way, so certainly ticks the boxes for me. Now, 2 working sets here, and the second set now will be a myo rep match set. So I did 13 reps in set number 1. Now my goal will be probably doing 8 to 9 reps, take a rest, and then a few more reps to match. And that will be the session done. I will follow up with a little bit of stretching, and it will be time for then it will be time for my post-workout meal. These sessions on paper do not look like much, but they certainly take your soul. That's what we're here for. Yep. Yep, 3, 2. One more. Yep. Oh, wow. Thank you. Oh. Right, guys. Massive thank you for watching. I appreciate every single one of you that has subscribed and support the channel. Looking back now, it's been a fair few years I have been filming for YouTube. So I've been having a bit of reflection time, and I'm certainly proud of the progress that has been made with the channel, with the physique, with the mindset, and life in general. And guys, I am excited to take you on the journey to show you more this year, the next, and all the years that will follow. Guys, I appreciate you. If you like the video, please make sure you like the video, subscribe. And if you've made it to the very end, comment progress, and we will know who is a real G. Guys, appreciate you all. If you have found value from any of the content that I make, then make sure you support the channel. And if there's anything that you particularly want me to cover in terms of content ideas, I'm always happy to listen, and I'm always happy to listen to any feedback as well, guys. So appreciate you all. Take care. Peace out for now.